Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night from wherever you tuned in for the 15th episode of the Climate Culture Podcast. And by the way, it's been a moment. We've taken quite a while to settle down, figure things out, and now we can come back to you with now a properly structured conversation on the engagement of youths, climate, and culture. But this time round, we are interested in something more enthralling: jobs. On set, I'll have to introduce an amazing young lady working with young people within this very community that we serve, and I want her to tell us her name and where she comes from. Unaweza bonga tu venye unataka.
Sawa. I'm Cynthia Mwanika from Vihiga, Mhaya Sub-County. I'm an agribusiness development expert. I do work with several youth, or per se most youth in Vihiga, who are majorly engaged in agriculture and climate conversations.
It's interesting that you mentioned you're an agribusiness development expert. Yeah. What do you think are the opportunities for decent jobs for young people in agribusiness and agriculture in general?
So we do have many opportunities, but I think for Vihigas for now, most youths are focusing on production and aggregation. Yeah.
So you think production and aggregation offers opportunities?
Yeah.
But does it promise decent job opportunities? Because we have to look at this conversation from an angle of you can make a living for yourself, feed your family, and also be able to save for the future. So do you think agriculture and agribusiness as designed within the present context offers those solutions?
It does not per se offer a sustainable plan for the jobs to the youth. This is why let's start with the production part. So in Vihiga we do have let me say limited space or very few or small portions of land for production, and for agribusiness to pay you have to ensure that you focus with large scale production. So for the youth in Vihiga, they wanajaribu production kidogo kidogo, but bado it is not that much sustainable.
Yeah, because everyone pushes young people towards agriculture. If you visit any office, visit any person, and you ask them, I need a job, they'll tell you, why can't you do agriculture? Why don't you do what the others are doing? So it's the reason why we have to ask the question, is it really going to offer the decent jobs? And when we talk about decent jobs, everyone across the globe will agree that it's a question of can it make enough money?
Agriculture can make a lot of money. Yeah. You can make a lot of money from agriculture, but what supports or what resources you as a youth do you have? Yeah. So the youths in Vihiga, so many are doing agriculture, but ile kidogo kidogo ya kuji just sustain. But it is not as much as profitable as it should be. It is not as much as sustainable as compared to the youth maybe in Kiambu or Nyandarua. So for Vihiga youth, we still have a challenge on matters ensuring that agriculture offers decent jobs. Yeah.
You pointed out that one of the limitations is land.
Yeah.
Everyone else will cry about land. We only have a limited amount of land accessible to us on the planet. So aside from land, what other thing do you think could be resolved? And this particular thing will open up opportunities for these young people for decency. And when you're talking about decent jobs and decent opportunities, it's not about, or someone told me, it's not about sustenance. It's about, it's not about survival. It's about sustenance and thriving. Yeah. So we're talking about thriving. So in this context of making the youth thrive, apart from the ideas of land, ideas of financial resources, what do you think could be the other thing that can just fix this issue?
So we do have three major challenges as youth. One, as I've said, access to land is a challenge. Two, access to market, that is where the issue to do the aggregation comes in. Then the last one is access to credit finances or accessible credit. Youth would really want to get the resources, that is finances, to engage themselves in agribusiness, but ni shida. So for example, the Nyota program that has been launched in the Western region the other day.
It's a good thing you bring it up, because before you even jumped into it, and I was trying to avoid the issue of financing to this point. But now that you mentioned it, Nyota, the other day, I think a number of our young people received funds from Nyota, a World Bank funded project that is proper. It's quite well designed to ensure that once they receive the resources, they're able to develop businesses that can give them an opportunity to thrive. So in your own thinking, how do you think Nyota is designed to meet the current challenges in the job for jobs for young people first, before we talk about its limitations? How do you think it is designed? Its positives,
So I'd first like to thank the government in looking for partners like World Bank to come just and help the youth with it's a grant. But the main the main thing that they've helped these youth is the business development training. But you cannot just give a youth that does not have any knowledge in matters financial literacy 22,000, tell that unaenda mwambie ati I want you to invest this 22,000. But we're grateful the BDS training that was held. But is it really sustainable for them? Is it really working for the youth? The 22,000 that they were given, those who already have the knowledge or already have prior access to knowledge on matters agribusiness, that would be a plus for them. But for those who have not ventured in any business, do not have any enterprises, trust you me, that was just let's call it a cash cow business. Yeah,
it's still very interesting. 22,000. I've heard many of them talk about ni mizinga kada. I don't know mizinga ni nini. Their age mates, you might understand that. But it also raises the question of most of these young people, that is probably the highest amount of money they have made within a day. Because actually within hours, because the money was wired at a declaration. So for most of them, it was money that came through within hours. Some of them might be very willing to do a business, but they had no clear strategy and plan for how to go around it. Now that they have the 22, and probably most of it is finished now for a few of the young people who've done something. But for those who've not done something, or who still have the excuse of this money was not enough to do something, what do you think they can do on their own now? Because we won't be getting alms from the government forever. What do you think they can do to just resolve this issue that they have gotten themselves into?
Being given a startup of 22,000, for a young youth, that is, let's say, most of them were Form 4 dropouts or Form 4 leavers, with 28,000, or not 28, 22,000. I had others kwa mitandao say, there are those smart ones who are asking where they can invest, how they can get chicks, poultry chicks, at least for 10,000. But we still have a challenge. I do not know where they can start, but what I know is those who are kind of smart, they have something to start up with, But in agriculture or in agribusiness, even with 20,000, yes, you can start something. Let's use an example of those who want to venture in poultry business, maybe with 10 chicks or 20. Again, issues to do with feeds, maybe, just maybe, we hope there's going to be mentorship or a mentoring program for these youth that have been given the grant, so that at least there can be a follow-up or an M&A for them to be helped to wajue nini wanafanya wrong, nini wanafaa kufanya nini right, or maybe where they can get other sources of funding.
And so along the same way, we understand that the Nyota project is a 5-year project, and like any other past projects, we have had results, both positives and negatives. I think Personally, I think Nyota has a false start. I'll not lie about that. I believe that there are gaps in how it has been started, but thankfully it's already out there and rolling. I would wish that you speak to a policymaker at the Treasury at this moment, or someone in a very influential position within this project, and address a component of this project that will be vital in scaling it, and that is the involvement of medium and small enterprises, but those mostly within the context where these young people work. So you understand that in every village there is a shop that you've seen for the last 10 years. That shopkeeper has stayed there, has learned the tricks of the trade. He or she makes money every other day. But that small scale or medium enterprise might not be involved anywhere within this particular project, while they hold a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills on how to just help the young people navigate the entrepreneurial space. So do you think the policymakers and the program handlers can do to ensure that this particular knowledge hubs are properly onboarded and integrated in the program, so that the new businesses that will be created, hopefully, can live the test of time?
It's simply involving the local organizations, the local groups that are already well established, or just empowering them with the SMEs, in the SMEs space, yeah? You know, bringing a consultant, we are in Vihiga, right? Unaleta consultant kutoka Zwini Loitoktok, kutoka not Siaya, let me say Mombasa. These people do not understand the dynamics of this county, right? They do not understand the dynamics of that these youth are and the challenges that they are facing. We cannot assume a youth from Vihiga is facing the same challenge with different youth in Garissa. The dynamics are very different. The business part is very different. So maybe the policymakers, the government, if they can just try and find out a way on how to engage the local organizations that are already established in this county, you know. So that is, then after that, for them, wakama kitoma super mentors, or how will I call them? Yeah, super mentors. You know, the youths are going to learn from these other youths who are doing well, or these organizations that are already established in their own county, rather than bringing other development experts from we don't know where to come and support the youth. They're only here for the training was only 4 days.
4 days.
Then after 4 days, we made another county. Why don't you empower and support those organizations that are already existing in the county?
Yeah, and there seems to be a lot of conversation around that. And as someone who's interacted with how the World Bank and other international organizations are trying to work right now, they are very intent on ensuring that there is local capacity for program implementation and scaling. But you've already mentioned that there are opportunities here where consultants are involved from other areas, and that could be a problem, right?
And again, you know, I'm sure these consultants are being paid a lot of money, cash. World Bank is doing a great job. Let's say the top people, they might not know what is happening on the grassroots levels. It's just a simple thing. Let them involve the organizations and the local partners who are already established, who understand the dynamics of the youth in their own county.
Nasema kwa ground.
Kwa ground,
I believe we will not be throwing shade at everything and everyone. I think they are doing the level best they can do. And the project has been incepted. I think this is the first year. We hope that the gaps will be fulfilled. So a call to, now that we've talked about the youths and the 22,000, we've talked about the stakeholders, the government and staff. A call to action for now the local stakeholders who are now these MSMEs? What if they are not completely involved? Should they just sit back and ignore the plight of the young people just because they were not involved? Or do you think they can also
No, ignoring means you people are okay. Ignoring it means we are satisfied. I'm not complaining actually, but let's say this is just a call to action, yeah? All local organizations, local partners, can they partner with the county if that is the county, if the county has a political or business goodwill for these local partners? See, upper interest in my youth. Let us see how best we can help the youth, yeah? I'm hoping pia Forezava mtaamka.
Acha tutaona.
Kusaidia vijana. But again, issues to do with matters of decent employment, yeah? We do have so many youth, no jobs, no. Okay, it is okay they are being capacity built, but what next? So after the 22,000 or after the 50,000, what next?
Yeah. So it's important you mentioned Forezava. So Forezava siya tumelala.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for the last 3 years. We run a community enterprise development initiative, very well rooted within the community. Sometimes so well rooted that you can never even know that it exists, and it works directly with young people, trying to help them prototype ideas, trying to help them build whatever they can build from the grassroots, and sometimes with entirely nothing. So, and it's work that we've been doing. We will continue doing it. We hope that there will be cooperation and collaboration from those involved in the project. If there is none, we will still continue doing it because it's all under responsibility we've taken for ourselves. So I'm glad that you also want us and every other young person at the grassroots to also just take a proactive role. Decent jobs cannot be achieved through free money. Everyone has said that. There needs to be a lot around credits and financing. Do you think the banks, SACCOs, and existing cooperatives should see the opportunity that has been unlocked here through this direct financing from government and World Bank, and just do something that now triggers new loan facilities for these young people? And how do you think that could really help? So
the lending model with banks, it does scare away the youth. One, the high interest rates, yeah. But I'm glad World Bank had a program called Jinue, which used to offer, is it 0.08 percent, yeah? Oh, not World Bank, Mastercard Foundation. But again, they did support the youth alone, no? It was for everyone. So maybe, again, the development partners, if they just come on board with the government, also with the financial institutions like the banks, maybe just have a sit down and come up with a model of how these youth are going to be helped in accessing matters, credit and finances. Which bank do you use?
I use Equity.
Equity. Yeah. What percentage? What is the interest percent?
It's 18, right?
Yeah. 18%, yeah.
It's something there about. I know I don't want to drag my bank into this money. They're a good bank, but it's a fact that the banking model is difficult. So I'll use a simple example. So last year I needed a loan from my bank, not for money that I did not have. So I wanted a securitized loan where I provide a fixed deposit and then ask for the bank to give me an increased value so that I can do an active activity. But I had a lot of problems with my bank. So I would want to talk about this, but I think it's a real. So in short, redneck.
Yeah. The financial institutions do not offer a youth-friendly loan with friendly interest for the youth.
And then they look at youth and just say, you will not pay it. The first impression is the youth will not pay it. But I'm hoping the youth will not eat this Nyota money, and they prove.
When is today? The money was disbursed last week on Friday.
I don't know. I will make a few calls and see how many still have made something. But we know there are those who bought machinery, there are those who set up something. kudos to those who've not done something. Please try and do something. Your parting shot.
Vijana wapate tu kazi. Tupatie vijana pesa na let us find a way on how these finances, or whether it's direct or indirect finances, is going to help youth secure their future and ensure that just long-term sustainability. Yeah, the short term hatutaki. Yeah,
it's true that an endangered youth population is a danger to the security and sustainability of this nation. We think there is a real opportunity for us to relook into this conversation, build consensus on what is best and what can work for all of us. As this conversation continues, please keep interacting with us on social media, just under your screen, or just search for Forezava. We have a website, www.forezava.org. You can also actually call us on 0786-10716. We actually want to host any other young person out there that wants to have a conversation on youth, climate and culture. Thank you and see you.